Okay, so this lab assignment has 5 parts. So first part, second part, and third part are simple C programs. Like in first case, you have to write a program that prints all the command line arguments except those begin with dash. Like in this example, there are 3 arguments passed, 3 command line arguments, and the command line arguments that don't begin with dash are printed. Minus arg2 begins with dash, so it is not printed. Arg1 and arg3 are printed. So this is a very simple program. And then second program, in this program, you have to read characters from standard input and count the number of non-alphabetic ones, including new lines. So non-alphabetic characters means the characters which are not in small a to small z range and capital A to capital Z range. So the characters which are not in this range, those are non-alphabetic characters. So the program will count the non-alphabetic characters, including new lines, and print the count and the number of. It prints out all the characters which are read. And third program reads characters from standard input, reverses lowercase to uppercase and uppercase to lowercase. So lowercase become uppercase become lowercase, and then writes the result to standard output. Okay, and so these are something which you can read, and we will also see what file descriptors are. So then there's D part. So in the D part, the main program will create 2 processes. So first process will execute one process, which is the one part. This will execute C part. Okay, C part, and then the second will execute the B part. Okay, so C part had to read the content and reverses lowercase and to uppercase to lowercase, and that output will become input of the B part. Okay, so it will execute the executable files. So B and C part will create executable files, and those executable files will be executed by 2 separate processes. So when executable files are executed, so the output of one file becomes input of second file. Okay, and we will see how it is done. So first thing is processes have to be created, and you have seen how to create processes. Like in the class, one program was there to create processes using fork, so that you can see. So basically, fork function is used. So maybe you can get an int a equal to fork. So fork will return something. So the moment fork executes, a new process is created. So in the child process, the value returned by fork is 0. In the parent process, the value returned by fork is process ID of the child process, which is a positive number. So if a equal to 0, child, else if a is greater than 0, parent. This executes as parent. And then if a is less than 0, then there are errors. So assume that there is no error. So these are the 2 possibilities: a is greater than 0 and a is equal to 0. So what you need to do is that you have to parent process has to create 2 processes using fork. In the first child process, the executable file has to run. Which executable file? The executable file created by program C, that has to run, and the function is the function that calls executable files function, or the it is given somewhere. Yes, like this is there. This executes executable file. So execl, you can just do manual of it, man of it. You can get a list of function which can be used to run an executable file. So this will execute the executable file and then exit. The child process will exit. The next child will again execute executable file. So 2 executable files will execute. So now next thing is how to connect. How should output of one file become input of second file? So for that we will see file descriptors. So file descriptors initially by default 0 points to keyboard, 1 points to screen, and 2 points to screen. Okay, and what you need to do is that in one process, 0 should point to one end of the pipe, Okay, what are pipes? First thing is what are pipes. So you can just create an array int pp size is 2, and then pipe. So it creates a pipe, and one pp0 and pp1, these will be point to two end of the pipes. This will be file descriptors which point to two end of the pipe. So what you need to do is that 0 is probably read and 1 is probably write end, so you can just check. So what you need to do is that you have to connect one end to 0, other end to 1. So in one process it is connected to 0, in another process it is connected to 1. So when another process writes something, it is writing to the pipe, and that goes to process to another process, and that process reads from the pipe and writes to screen. So how it is done? First thing is that, suppose you create a file using open, it returns a file descriptor which points to file. 3 points to file. 3 is fd in. Again create file 2. File 2 is created, and it returns file descriptor which is pointing to file 2. So fd out is 4. It points to file 2. So now suppose you want that file 1 points to, I mean 0 points to file 1. If you want that, then in that case 0 should be closed. When 0 is closed, in that case 0 will not no longer point to keyboard. 0 is closed, it becomes unused. Now when dupe fdin is done, so fdin is 3, it points to file 1. So dupe fdin will create another file descriptor. So file 1 will now point, it will be pointed by another file descriptor number. So from 0 the unused number is 0. So file 1 will be pointed by 0 also because of dupe fdin. So the result is 0 point also points to file 1, and 0 also points 3 also points to file 1. 0 and 3 both are pointing to file 1. So then this may be closed. So how to close it? Again close fdin. So it fdin value is 3, so 3 will be closed. So 3 is closed, so 3 is now becoming unused. So that is how, when now if your process will run, it will read from the file and write to the screen. So what you need to do is that instead of file you have to use pipe. One end of the pipe to the, so one end of the pipe is used for reading by one process, and for the second process the other end of the pipe is used for writing. So you have to use a specific end. 0 pp0 is probably for reading, 1 for writing. You can just check which end to use. Okay, and then so the result will be that the C program will run, the output of C becomes input of B program, and then the result is displayed. Okay, so do this part first. Okay, and then E part we will see later. So E part also you read E part and try to do. So as of now try to do D part till D part.